Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt that I was wearing in my previous video, and that is because we are recording this on the same day. I wanted to try to get both of these out to you guys pretty quickly. So what this is all the TV shows and movies that I watched in the month of May. I say that like I've got a bunch, but I only have about 6 movies and 1 TV show, and it's only 1 season of the show. But that's because it's quite a long show, and kind of wanted to do that to break up some of the stuff that I've been watching. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. The very first movie that I went and grabbed was The Tourist. Now this one has been in my collection for God knows how long, probably I guess since the movie originally came out on Blu-ray. But again, back in those days, I had a good amount of Blu-ray DVD, but what it was is I would go to the movies a lot. So I would see a movie in the theater, love it, and then as soon as it came on DVD, I was like, I have to have it. And I would get it, I'd rewatch it, still love it, but then it would just sit on my shelf. I wouldn't rewatch it again. And clearly, I mean, this movie's, you know, a good amount of years, and I haven't seen it since. Like, again, just sitting on my shelf. Where I want to be more active, and that's why I'm trying to go through this and get it down some so that I don't have that issue. Because if I don't feel like I want to watch it again, then the movies are going to go. But this one is definitely staying. Rewatched it, loved it. This is just, it's funny, it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got class. These two, Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, they just have great chemistry, and so they play so well together. This movie is basically where you have this woman who, you know, the movie starts out where she's just sitting at a cafe, and, you know, you see this guy, like, you know, keeping an eye on her at some government agency. You don't know right away. And it's basically where you have this whole fiasco where they're looking for something, waiting for her to, you know, talk to some certain person that they're actually looking for. They're not looking for her. They're going after the person that she's in contact with. And basically she gives them the slip or whatever, and they go after her. And it's basically an entire movie where you have Interpol, you have, you know, Italy's people after her. You've got Russia's people after. It's just all these different countries are after her, trying to find her, trying to see who she's meeting up with or whatever. She picks up Johnny Depp's character along the way, trying to confuse them or think that he's, you know, that person and this, that, and the other. And Johnny Depp's character doesn't really know what the heck is going on. So that's where the comedy comes in, because he plays that so well. And he's got like this innocence behind him. But then there's a great twist at the end. Not going to say any more, you know, because if you haven't seen this, you want to check it out. If you like action and comedy kind of mixed in, but mixed in well, like it works well together, I would highly suggest checking this out. If you have already seen it, then you know the spoiler, so there's no point in saying it. But this is definitely staying in my collection. Next up on the list is the one that I picked up, I think it was at the end of the month before, which was Adventures in Babysitting. That's when I started getting into my little 80s, you know, fixation, so to speak. This was super cheap, so I went ahead and grabbed this one at that time, and then shortly after I went ahead and stuck it in on a good Saturday night. It was a good Saturday night movie. Loved it, still hits. It's a great 80s classic. You know, you've got the like kind of, you know, girl next door, just like a family, you know, friend where they know her. She comes over. The main kid, the older kid, kind of has a crush on her. And basically anything and everything that can go wrong starts to go wrong, where she's got to go help her friend. Her friend has kind of run away from home, but then her friend gets scared and she's like, you got to pick me up. And so, but she's babysitting. So then she, you know, ends up bringing the kids along, and then there's just an absolute, you know, night of chaos that happens. But it's just, it's so good, still hits, love the 80s. So Adventures in Babysitting. The next one up on my list is The Ice Pirates. Now, I mentioned in my last video that I had never seen this movie. I had never even heard of it until I was watching a video where it was like 80s fantasy movies, you know, and I can't remember if it was like forgotten ones or if it was just, you know, a video about 80s fantasy movies. But anyways, this one came up and I was like, I've never heard of that. So I was watching, you know, the trailer of it, and then I started looking at other videos of people talking about it. Now, granted, a lot of people were saying trash about it, but people's opinions usually don't, they don't have much weight between whether I'm going to watch it or not. I've had plenty where movies that I love, you know, I just happen, oh, they're talking about it. I go to here and they're just trashing the movie. And I was like, but I love that. So that's why I like to hear other people's opinions, but again, I'm going to make my own, so to speak. So anyways, I went ahead and picked that one up again, you know, in the month of May. And then I ended up watching it in the month of May. And honestly, this is a great movie. I don't care what people say. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What I want in a movie, especially an 80s like action movie, I just want to have fun. I want to be entertained. It doesn't have to make like super sense. And this one, I'm going to say, there are times doesn't really make that much sense. In watching videos on the movie, people were talking about how, I guess a studio had picked them up and had guaranteed them this amount of money, and then they turned around and cut it less than half of what they actually said. So the budget just went way down from what they initially were told. Then on top of that, they were wanting it to be kind of like a serious space opera. And again, the company turned around and was like, the studio was like, no, we want this to be comedy. And so they were trying, I guess, to make the studio happy, because obviously the studio is the one that gave them the money. But there were times that you could tell that the movie didn't know what it was, like what it wanted to be. Did it want to be serious? Did it want to be comedic? I will say, even though it's called The Ice Pirates, and there is a whole thing, like, ice is very scarce. So, you know, it's like gold, you know, honestly. So with the title Ice Pirates and just, you know, reading that, I thought ice would play way more importance than it actually did. But granted, it was still just a great time, and I don't care. I will rewatch this. It's going to be one of those movies when a chill, like, Saturday afternoon where you're just wanting to watch something fun, or, you know, Saturday nights, you know, just something where you just want to get some popcorn, chill down, watch a movie. This is one of those that I'll just pop in. I thought it was great. It's got a lot of good names in it, too. So there's a lot of naysayers out there, but again, I would say, you know, make your own opinions on that, okay? Because sometimes you're going to miss great gems just because a lot of people say that they didn't like it. So, the next one was one that I also picked up in the same month and ended up watching, and that was Masters of the Universe. Again, I guess this would be considered like an 80s cult classic, because there are a lot of people that don't like it and don't think it's great. But again, like I said with Ice Pirates, it's one of those that it's a good action, like an 80s action movie. And I think this thing was like almost, I think it was 2 hours long. I'm not 100%. And I can't find it on here. It was a decent size, I think, or maybe it was Ice Pirates that was 2 hours. One of them. But here's the thing is, when I'm really entertained, they don't feel like 2 hour movies. And neither one of these did. Whichever one was 2 hours, or if they both were. But you know, it starts out in Eternia, and then most of the movie happens here in our realm. I wish there was a little bit more in Eternia. I mean, they do go back to their realm at one point towards the end to, you know, of course, to take care of the baddies. But I really enjoyed this film, and I don't care what others say. I mean, was it following the story of He-Man and stuff from what I knew? Not really. I mean, it kind of was just like He-Man in our world. You know, there wasn't that much lore to it, and maybe that was part of the problem that some people had. Granted, I would have liked a little more of that, you know, myself, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed it. I would easily give this one like maybe an 8.5. It wasn't a perfect movie, so I'm not going to give it a 10, but this is definitely one, again, on a Saturday or, whatever, on a night that I just want to chill and watch, one of my 80s films, this is going to be a go-to as well. And the next one that I watched in the month of May was Bedazzled with Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser. While this was not my favorite, or one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies way back, I still wanted to rewatch it. That's why I bought it at the thrift store the other month. And went ahead and watched it, and this movie was actually a lot funnier than I remembered it to be. But it's basically, Elizabeth Hurley plays the devil, and you have a guy that's just, he wants the attention of like one of the, I guess, more popular people, women in his office, but no one's giving him the time of day. Like, he's always wanting to hang out with the guys or whatever, and they're always something to do. He's kind of like IT kind of nerdy, situation happening. And so Elizabeth Hurley's character is basically like, hey, I can give you anything you want. I can give you 3 wishes, you name it. I can make it happen for you. I just need a little contract for you to sign. Basically, she's the devil, so she's like, give me your soul, I'll make it happen. And as we know, with any shows or movies that you watch, when you have, and especially with the devil, but just in general, if you have a genie or whatever, the wishes that you ask the genie to grant usually aren't exactly the way you had planned them. And that's exactly what happens in this movie. Like, the way that the 3 wishes, or the 2 which I can't, now that it's, again, this is what's bad about 2 months later and my mind just like forgetting things. I can't remember what the 3rd wish was, but I know the first 2 wishes, like, they seemed really good right off the bat, where you're like, oh, okay. And then it immediate downhill. Like, it's so bad, but that's where the comedic, moments come in and stuff like that. So again, this was a really great movie, and that was like the golden age of Brendan Fraser, was all that time, with Encino Man, and I think he make no, it wasn't Biodome, it was he made a quick appearance in Son-in-Law at the college. But yeah, you had Tarzan and all those other ones that he was in. So this is just another one of those good ones. Blast from the Past, that's another one that I love and I actually need to own. So that is one that I will be on the hunt for at thrift stores when I go. But anyways, that was Bedazzled. Next up, we have Gone in 60 Seconds. This is the remake one, I guess you want to call it. Again, back then, I didn't know it was a remake. I was just like Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie. This one, as soon as the music started, I forgot how good the soundtrack to this movie is. I remember back then I had the soundtrack and I would listen to that so much. So just hearing the songs in the movie just took me back. But the movie itself, so good. I'm not a huge like car chase person or whatever, but this one's a little different because they're stealing cars and there's a really good like backstory, like family backstory with Nicolas Cage's character just trying to basically help his little brother get out of a mess that he has created for himself. And it's just it's a classic action movie with Nicolas Cage, good stuff. And then what's his, Eleanor, I think, is the name of the car that that's his like unicorn, as they say. But this was a great movie. I'm glad to have that back because I had that in my collection way back and got rid of it. Glad to have it back. I may look for this maybe in a Blu-ray or something, just get it a little bit better quality because it's more action-y. But those are all the movies that I watched. And then the very last thing that I wrapped up, finished, was the very first season of everyone's favorite, The Golden Girls. So this show, along with, what are some of my other ones, like Murder, She Wrote, Married with Children, those are ones, there's so many seasons of them. I'm probably going to be going through like a season of it just to break it up from other things. Because a lot of my other TV shows are maybe, 3 seasons long or something like that. Anything that's super, super long, unless it's one of those like continuous storylines that I have to keep up with, it's going to be one of those where I'll just watch an entire season in a month or try to get through one. And that's that. I think I'm almost done with season 2 of Golden Girls. It's kind of a thing that I put on in the afternoons or whatever on the weekends, just for laughs and kind of background things, because we've all seen these, episodes 50, 100 times, at least for me, like most of them, and they're still funny. I wish we could find more TV that is like that, where you can keep watching it over and over again. It's just funny. I think the only things nowadays that I'll rewatch, I think are more animated, like, so Bob's Burgers. That's a show that, as soon as I end it, I'm going to restart it and just rewatch it. But anyways, those are my watches in May. I'm going to get these out to you guys pretty quickly, now that I have them all wrapped up. And then I'll do June, and then we are going to be all caught up. And then I get to do my anime, figure unboxings and stuff like that, because I have so many of those and I need to unbox them and put them in my cases, get rid of some other ones to make room for them, and just kind of get organized and get my collection down a little bit. So we're going to be talking about that too, as far as my anime figure, anime figure videos are going to go. All right, so that is it for my May watches. Thanks for hanging out with me and checking out everything. If you liked this video, if you want to see more, go ahead and click like, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment on what you've been watching, what you are looking forward to watching even. And I will see you again next time, and hopefully very shortly. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.